All right, guys, welcome to our Wednesday Twitter Spaces. I hope all of you guys have been having a good week so far. Um, I've been having a good week. I've been having a pretty busy week. I'm not going to lie to you guys. We got a lot of things coming up and a lot of big things to be excited for. I'll get right into it. I'm not going to beat around the bush, and I'm not going to play too many games here. But we're kind of working on bringing everything that you guys have been waiting for a lot quicker than anticipated. Originally, we had a timeline to get the Armory out first, and then followed by the Warzone. From the looks of how things are going, it looks like I believe the Warzone is going to beat the release of the. I do believe that the Warzone is going to come out much sooner than expected. Armory is looking amazing. Armory is looking cool. We got all kinds of cool features that are being built on it as we speak. But that's not even the most exciting thing about it all. The most exciting thing, I dropped a little message in the chat yesterday, and I'm not going to go into full detail on that yet. But the title of this Twitter Spaces is Meme Coin Season. Now, you guys have been following us for long enough to understand that I always preach marketing, 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 but you have to always time that marketing. And I've been a true believer of that, and I stand by that. So right now is the time to go into full blast marketing mode. So Max, myself, Max, Alex, the rest of the team. Oh, it looks like K1dCrypt0's in here. Let me go ahead and add him up here too. There we go. Give me 1 second. What's up, kid?
Hey, what's up, fellas? How's everybody doing today?
Doing well, brother. Doing well. I'm just giving the community a super quick breakdown of what to expect for this week out of our project, and then I'll get right into it with you and give you your proper introduction, my man. So give me 2 minutes, and we'll get right into it, okay?
Yeah. Take your time. I'm just getting a hold of Walt right now. But yeah, okay. Thanks for having me on.
For sure. Yeah, I'm going to add you as a co-host, so you can add people if you need to. All right, guys. So as I was saying, meme coin season is back in my terms, in my book, and we're going full force into this. We're putting together a massive marketing plan out in the hundreds of thousands of dollars that we're dedicating towards marketing for this next push that we're trying to do. We have some massive catalysts that we're going to be talking about over the next probably 2 weeks. I don't want to give an exact date, but probably around that time frame. So people think we're sleeping or whatnot. Well, I don't think you guys think that, but I'm just saying we're working on some pretty big things in the background. We're working on some massive ways to break out, and we're working on some massive ways to actually monetize and take advantage of meme coin season, right? So the next few weeks are going to be super exciting. The next few weeks are going to be full of things that we've never done before, actually, and things that are going to be new, right? So new is always exciting. We're going to be penetrating the whole new market of people who are coming into the whole meme coin space right now. Obviously, there's a craze that's going on in the meme coin space where people are kind of like aping into new projects, and new projects are coming up and generating insane amounts of volume. But obviously, you know, there's a lot of risk that comes with that, and a lot of people know that and they understand that, but they still don't care because they're just like gambling at some point, and at some point they're just, you know, following the trends. So what we're doing is we're actually, obviously, we're a established project. We're over 1.5 years old at this point, and we have the means and the resources available to actually make a massive marketing push and kind of like penetrate that market. So we're putting together and finalizing a plan for that and how we're going to execute on that. And I think you guys are going to love it. I think you guys are going to be very excited for what you're going to see and what you're going to hear. But yeah, I mean, Max is a genius marketer. He's built dozens of businesses to multi-million-dollar levels just based off marketing. And he's putting together an amazing plan. We're all putting together an amazing plan. And when we introduce it to the community and we introduce it to the broad market, you guys are going to love it. And you guys are actually going to be on board to actually help us push this thing to the next level. So super excited for what's to come. And yeah, I mean, super excited for bringing the next season of Warzone to you guys too. So we'll give a more broader introduction to that. And I am actually confirming at this point that we are going to support ShibaDoge, the ShibaDoge bread NFTs in the Warzone. That's going to come in like a part 2 of Warzone. So mid-season, there will be an update where you guys will be able to actually participate with the ShibaDoge NFTs as well. So that's something to be super excited for. That's something that we were actually really hoping to get done in the proper way, which I'm very happy that we figured it out, and I'm very happy that we were able to come to terms with, making the tech work. So, yeah. But with that being said, I want to introduce you guys to K1dCrypt0. Is one of my friends and one of the people that actually host a bunch of AMAs and whatnot on Twitter Spaces. He's pretty well known in the crypto space, and he's got some pretty big connections, I would say. Kid, how you doing today, my man? If you want to jump in and give yourself a quick little introduction to our people. Some of our guys already know you since they participated in the AMA that I was in with you, but just for anybody who hasn't met you before.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, just a brief introduction. I've been in crypto since 2017, traditional markets since early 2000s, as far as like trading and speculating and all that good stuff. The first project that I worked with was Elongate in early 2021. I was on the team there. It was one of the biggest, meme coins during the bull run. We invented the charity Meta. We donated $4 million to a bunch of different awesome charities. And that was kind of, I guess, where I really started getting into DeFi and crypto. And yeah, during the bear market, I've just been very supportive. Me and Walter, we've been kind of building our own brand up. We want to shine light on awesome projects that are actually building and doing things like ShibaDoge is. And but yeah, that's a brief little introduction.
Nice, man. So you've been in the game for quite a while. How would you compare the old days compared to the modern day of crypto and DEX and just everything, even NFTs? Like, what would you say is the biggest difference that you could think of off the top of your head?
Honestly, I'll have to say that the talent in the space is getting a lot better. I'd say when DeFi really was starting in like 2020 and 2021 as well, it was still kind of clunky. People were trying to figure out use case, trying to figure out ways DeFi could really have a purpose. And, what I've noticed in the past 2 years is a lot of creativity, a lot of new people obviously onboarding and what have you. And I find it very interesting because we're seeing a lot of different use cases that are popping up that are very interesting, such as, obviously with AI that's been booming, for the past few months and things like that. But honestly, the talent, it's honestly gotten better. Meme coins really are bringing not just a great community now, but, bringing utility, entertainment, all kinds of different cool things that I feel like there wasn't as much of, previously.
Yeah, that's for sure, man. I mean, when I first got involved with crypto, I was not a part of any teams. I was not a part of any projects. I got involved just the same way 99.9% of the rest of the population gets involved. My whole perspective on crypto, the first time I heard about it, obviously the first thing I ever heard about was Bitcoin. I overlooked Bitcoin one too many times, and then a few years passed, and I bought my first Bitcoin. I don't even remember how much it was. I think it was like $700 or something like that. I bought half of Bitcoin, and that was my first entry into the crypto space. I mean, before I got kind of really, really deep into it, I was still a pretty well-rounded businessman, and I was actually working a regular job and trying to do startups on the side and generate some income like that. I was always really into the whole being an entrepreneur type of thing. And for me personally, what really drew me in the most was being able to kind of see how But I didn't even know there were communities behind crypto, to be honest with you, when I first discovered it. What really drew me in was knowing, like, hey, I can go in here and kind of like, okay, I know about stocks, I know about bonds, I know about options, but I can make money in crypto. Whoa, let me try this out. So obviously, I took my first steps, bought a bunch of like random stuff. I don't even remember what I bought at this point. And then I ended up talking to a bunch of my friends about it, and they were already on board. So we started doing our research and this and that, and we would like find the randomest projects and dive deep into them and think that these are like, the projects that are going to change the world and blah, blah, blah. Until we came across, obviously, Shiba Inu and Dogecoin, and those are the projects that really, really put things into motion for us and kind of changed our lives. And that's when I started getting more involved with like communities and started getting more involved with, the back end of how this crypto stuff is ran and the back end of how, communities are built in crypto, because I really saw a massive opportunity in being able to like help people out and change people's lives in the way that, didn't happen in the crypto world, where what I experienced in my community, in the communities with Shiba, was more or less just a bunch of people who were just like trying to get 1,000x and that's it, right? Which is cool. Like that's what we all want. But there was no sense of like, hey, let's help each other out. There was no sense of like, hey, let's grow together. Hey, there's, so much opportunity in this space where people can actually learn things right now to turn into, to put on their resumes in the future. Nobody was looking at it like that. So what we did with ShibaDoge, we built we put a massive amount of effort into building our community and making it a community that can actually thrive and not just like be, hey, when this, when that. Obviously, you still get those when this, when that people. You can't shake that all out, and I don't think you'll ever be able to shake that all out. But us being able to kind of build this in the modern age, I don't think it would have been possible to do it 3 years ago, 4 years ago. I just don't think it'd be possible to do it. And prove me wrong, but any of the communities that were built 3 or 4 years ago, 99% of them, they just don't exist now because they weren't able to adapt to the current way the market works. And it's sad to see, because a lot of these big communities from back then, they could have really been running stuff right now, and they really could have been taking over the entire market with the communities that they built. But a lot of people are in there for the wrong intention, and they just don't last.
No, 100% agree. That actually led to the demise of Elongate. Is that it really started out as like a community type vibes project, and then it ended up being a power struggle between people working on the projects, and instead of continuing on with the original message, it just kind of ended up becoming a big fight, and nobody ended up winning at the end of the day. And the project pretty much from that point on, I ended up leaving. Once that stuff kind of started, I saw the writing on the wall that was, some people were there for the movement, they were there for the tech, they were there to push the industry, they were there for the altruism built into it. And then some people were there for greed, man, and it really didn't mesh well. And I totally agree with you. A lot of like what you guys are doing now, man, it definitely wouldn't have been possible 3 years ago. And one of the most impressive things, just from the outside perspective and scope of you guys, is just the way that you guys are bringing the NFT community to the DeFi community. I think is something that we're going to see a lot more going forward, and that you guys honestly are some of the first movers on bridging those two very different communities into one. And that's probably one of my favorite things about the ShibaDoge project.
Yeah, for sure, man. Intertwining the communities together is a big part of finding success in this space, right? Because we're not just an NFT project, and we're not just like a coin project. We're a whole ecosystem, and it kind of falls in hand. Obviously, right now, the coin market is thriving compared to the NFT market. And what I mean by thriving is not that it's necessarily doing well, because it's really not. Like right now, we're just seeing an influx of people coming in, which is a very, very bullish sign in my eyes. But if you zoom out the bigger picture, we're still kind of in the same spot that we were in a month ago. It's just now that they're like nice building spots, the building blocks that have been being brought to the table, right? So, yeah, man, I definitely agree. You know, having the diversity in the ecosystem is very powerful, and we actually are working on some pretty big things in the back end on our NFTs too. We're actually experimenting with different opportunities on how to kind of expand in them, rather than, you know, like obviously we have the Warzone and that's what people use their NFTs for, but we're trying to like build something out that's pretty cool, like where people will be able to interact with their NFTs, whether that's with us integrating an AI where you know your NFT can come to life and have its own personality and talk and this and that. You know, that's something that we're kind of like looking into. That it is possible. It's very possible to do so. We've actually successfully kind of integrated it in one of them, and it's actually pretty cool. But trying to figure out how to do it on a mass scale and how to like support it for the long run, that's the challenge. And I mean, I don't know if we'll be able to figure that out very quickly, but the cool thing is it is possible, and I mean that could really change the way that people interact with their NFTs.
No, I totally agree, man. And right now, you know, NFTs aren't necessarily hot, but if you look at like the past cycle and looked at kind of like the order of events, I kind of have a theory on what's going to happen with NFTs. So you have Bitcoin, which is 50% plus of the entire market cap of crypto, right? So everything follows Mother Bitcoin, right? So if things go up, people start taking profits from that Bitcoin and they start moving it into alts like Ethereum, Cardano, Solana, Polygon, whatever. And, those things start to move, and then you start to see profits start to trickle down. So it's almost kind of, those profits continually move. And right now we're kind of seeing a little microcosm of what happened in that bull run where, Bitcoin was outperforming, the market, and, profits were starting, to be taken from it. And I think if you look at like late 2020, early 2021, those profits were starting, to trickle down into the alts. And then you saw the culmination of all those events lead into March and April being almost like a mania, where everything was just going crazy, right? And then you really saw the, the spark to NFTs, because there was so much profit that was being taken from crypto, with so much people jumping in, so many newcomers, that then there was profits that were able to be spent in NFTs. So my thoughts are, it's going to be something like that, similar. Once people have profits and have things to move around, I wouldn't be surprised to see, floors start to get swept from NFTs here in the coming months.
I 100% agree with that, brother. I see Walter came in here. How you doing, Walter?
Walter. I know he's at the ER right now. I know he's finishing up his shift, so he may be busy right now at the moment.
No worries. Yeah, no worries. Just saying hi. So, Elongate. I particularly remember that project. That was one of. So let me tell you a funny story about that project. I was working at a concrete company a few years back before I kind of like stopped working and took all my crypto stuff and moved along and became who I am today. I was working in a construction place, concrete place, and I went to some junkyard or something to buy a part for like a tractor, right? And the guy who owns the place, I would always talk to him, and I would always talk. He was an older man. He was probably like in his 60s, and I was there. He made a little bit of money. He was happy. And then one day I show up over there, and he's all like, "Hey, man, I just bought this. I just bought this new token, and he's like, look how many millions or billions or whatever of it that I got, not dollars, but just like tokens. And I'm looking at it, it says Elongate, and that was the first time I ever saw it. And I particularly remember that because I went home and I searched it, and it was on BSC, right? It was a BSC token, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So I didn't even know how to use BSC at the time. So I searched it up and I was like, man, let me probably like try to buy it. I couldn't. And that's funny that you were part of that team because I have a good memory of that moment talking to that old man and him shilling that token to me.
Yeah, that's hilarious, man. Yeah, and if you kind of want to hear like a story of which probably not many people have heard of how that actually started and what the origins were. Basically, it was launched, and my assumption it was launched by a kid, right? Some sort of teenager, and it was just based off some of the conversations and the way he communicated. I'm in my 30s, so I can kind of figure out the difference. So I kind of assumed this was like a young guy, and within the first couple of days, I guess he was launching it, just for fun, right? It was the very first Elon meme token, right? Like it was the first token that was, off of the Elon Musk tweet and what have you. So, he didn't expect it, I assume, to get as big as it did, as quick as it did. And I was in there. I was one of the first, few hundred people. I had just gotten into Safe Moon, so I was on the prowl looking for gems and what have you. And I was like, this is hilarious. So I bought it. And, within a couple days, we realized this thing was going to go really, really far. And it was already getting to the point to where we basically, as a community, there was a few of us that had some ambition as far as what we could do with it. I was one that had proposed, let's make this into a charity project. Let's do some good for the world. Let's do something completely different that hasn't been done in crypto. And we basically were like, hey, will you turn this project over to the community? There's some people here that have some serious, one of the other backers was, head of security from Bank of Scotland. We had Alex, who was a school teacher in Georgia. Lorenzo, who had ran his own successful companies in Switzerland and was a government official there. So we as kind of like in myself, and I'm an executive chef, so I'm kind of the oddball of the group or whatever. But we reached out to them and we were like, hey, we want to take this project, the distance. We have the skill set, the experience to be able to take something that started as a joke and turn it into something, real. And yeah, it's just kind of a short snippet of, kind of the story of where we started. And with the, once, we took the keys to the project and started, really digging in and putting, our experience to work, things just, blew up, man. It was absolutely bananas.
No, man, definitely. That was one of the bigger. What market cap did that end up hitting at its all-time high? By any chance, do you remember?
Yeah, we were roughly around 750 million market cap, and
Jesus.
it would have went further, but there was actually our project was on V1 LP of PancakeSwap, right? Because like with Ethereum, you use Uniswap, PancakeSwap for Binance. Well, PancakeSwap had decided to go ahead and upgrade to a V2, which is basically a fork of V2 Uniswap or what have you. And they went ahead and did that. And what ended up being a problem for us is we had our LP pool on V1. So when everybody went to go buy in PancakeSwap, it would direct them to V2. There was zero liquidity on V2. And we had locked, I think, roughly around 30% for 5 years, another 35% for 1 year. And then the rest of it we had left open, for possible bridging, for donations, things like that. And we didn't have any liquidity to migrate to V2. So a bunch of us, wells from the community, we actually had to fork out of our own pocket to build that second liquidity pool. And honestly, it caused a lot of FUD because people were going to buy on V2. And because there was no liquidity, the price impact was like 100%, 99%. So people were just lighting their money on fire.
Yeah.
And that ended up being a big roadblock. And that was right at like late April. And then we were able to get a solution very quickly to it. But obviously it took a lot of the momentum, out of ourselves and what have you. But yeah, 750 mil is where we were able to get to as far as our all-time high.
That's pretty insane, man. I mean, for anybody who doesn't know, there were some really big runners back before this phase became anything. Like I remember Elongate, I remember Akita. I was a part of Akita too. When I bought Doge and I bought Shiba, there was another token. I never talk about this one, but it was called Akita. And that one I made that was the first like big win that I had in the crypto space, I want to say. In Akita, I think I had put like $500 or $600, something like that. And that ended up turning into $30,000 or $40,000. And that was my first ever big win. In the meme coin space. That was before I took any profits from Shiba, or I took any profits from Doge. Which I really haven't taken any profits from Doge actually yet. But yeah, Akita, there was that. I think that Akita ran up to like $1 billion in market cap as well. And the thing is, it's like people forget about those. And the reason why they forget about those is because those communities fall apart. And this is why it's so important for me to be able to build our community so that we can outlive and outshine that whole thing where it's like, hey, that project was once great. It's like, no, you don't say a project was great because of the market cap they were able to achieve. Like, say a project was great because of what they've done for the space and the market caps that they can and will achieve in the future. So that's what we're working towards. We're not looking at those numbers. We're working more towards kind of like curating the strong arm of a community and just continue building, man. I always tell my people, and I always talk to our team. We have a team of like 20 people that we talk to, and it's like, hey, we could come up with 20 ideas, and if all 20 of those ideas are shit and none of them work, and they don't really like propel us to the next level, it doesn't matter. What the important thing is, we had 20 ideas, we tried them out, and we didn't quit. So now let's come up with 20 more, and all it takes is that one to hit, and when that one hits, it can really, really take you to the next level. Just like you think about musicians, right? Musicians can they don't just make one song and become famous. Some of them might, but most musicians have like hundreds of songs before they finally strike a record deal or before they finally make it big. So I look at it the same way. You just have to keep trying. You can't give up. And I think we have a massive opportunity with the support that we have and kind of the dedication that we have on our end as far as the people running the project. We want to be able to make a reputation for ourselves in the space in a positive way. So we're going to keep pushing. We're going to keep doing what needs to be done. And I think we've already made a pretty decent reputation. When I go into these bigger whale chats with some people on Telegram, or get invited to a bunch of like dev channels and this and that, I don't know 99% of the people that are in there, but most people in there have heard of who I am, or have heard of our project. So just that alone is pretty important to me. And knowing that we're building like a positive name for ourselves is something that can that keeps me going, right? So like I said before you hopped in here, I was kind of like giving a brief breakdown, and we're taking full advantage of this whole meme coin season that's going on right now. I don't think there's a better meme coin than Shiba and Doge, right? So ShibaDoge obviously is the combination of both of those meme coins. So I think we're going to be in a positive place for us to push this forward. And like you said, it kind of like falls hand in hand, right? Where you said you know, a lot of people made a lot of money in Bitcoin, and then all that money that they made, they started spreading it out across the rest of the market. I believe that's the same case, and that's why we're going to go hard on what we're going to be going hard on over the next few weeks. And the reason being so is because right now there are a lot of people making a lot of money in some of these bigger projects. Like, you know, Pepe went to crazy market caps, and, you know, there was like a whole bunch of other things that popped out from zero to nothing, from squash to, you know, 100 million or 50 million or whatever. The point is that obviously you could see for yourself, I'm not just making this stuff up, but money is flowing in and out of those projects, right? They're not just like staying there. People are moving them around and trying to get, you know, the next win, or try to find the next thing to come into, or the next community to be a part of. And, you know, just like the same analogy that you gave with money flowing out of Bitcoin, I do believe that money flows out of the sectors that it comes into as well. So it's a perfect time for us to capitalize on this and kind of really show the people what we're all about. And us having a clean track record kind of like really helps us in, you know, showing people that, hey, this is a safe place. You know, we're all about safety, but we're also like the best meme coin in the space, right? I like to say we're the best meme coin in the space because I really, honestly, in my heart, do think that.
No, I think that's really cool. And I think that's really cool that, you know, a lot of communities, they're kind of like, you know, don't talk about other, you know, what's going on, you know, other, you know, communities, other coins and things like that. But honestly, just from like the scope of, you know, being like, you know, this is a lot of people's, you know, home project, right? You guys are committed for, you know, for the long run with this. This is a perfect time. You know, right now with everything, like you said, going on, it's the musical chairs of launches and the next hype project. That's a good opportunity, you know, to print and bring it back and get, you know, more position of those legacy projects, your legendary bags like ShibaDoge. And, you know, we've encouraged, you know, me and Walter, we've encouraged, you know, our community 24 karat Inu. We're like, guys, take advantage of it. You know, obviously, you know, we explained that, hey, none of these things are going to last, of course, you know, some of them will, but, you know, 90% of them, you know, aren't going to last. So be very careful. Don't risk anything you can't afford to lose. But it's a really good opportunity right now with those things as hot as they are to print, you know, and you can also increase your position in your projects that you plan on holding for a year, too, you know, 3, 4, 5, or forever, you know, and, yeah, honestly, right now, that's what I've been doing. You know, we have our own project, but you have to take advantage, you know, of what the market's doing. You have to follow narratives. You know, to succeed in this market, you have to be creative and take chances. And you know, right now, you know, is a perfect time and stuff like that. You know, obviously, there's a lot of danger out there. Please be careful, guys. For every one win, there's 9 rug pulls right now. So please do a lot of research. But you know, it's a great time right now, and I believe as that money moves back out of all of these hot new projects, you're going to see projects like ShibaDoge and projects like Feg that, you know, have been working through the bear market. You're going to see that flow go back into those coins. So that's what I think we'll be seeing a lot more of here the next couple months. Just my personal opinion.
Oh, for sure, man. And you said that you were building your own brand. You want to talk about that a little bit? Like, what kind of brand are you guys focused on building, and what kind of really motivated you to take that step?
Yeah, you know, just working with Elongate, you know, me and Walter, we amassed like a big group of friends, people, you know, a lot of them, you know, considered like family, people that we've known multiple years. You know, during the bear market, we've been around. Obviously, it's a lot more difficult in a bear market. You know, a good amount of people, you know, by that point and stuff have drifted off and what have you. You know, but we stayed in the field. We wanted to build. You know, we've supported you know, other projects and things like that over the past year before things really started to heat up. And you know, as we get closer to the halving, you know, me and Walter we had been talking all the way back since Elongate that we wanted to do podcasts. We wanted to empower people within these DeFi projects to really have a platform to go out and share what they want to do, just because of our own personal experience, with Elongate. And basically recently, we had jumped into a project that was like a gym and what have you. The dev was cool, but obviously, somebody that lacked a lot of experience and what have you. And, a bunch of our friends and family, we had jumped in this project, and we love the branding so much of 24 karat, especially with what we're going to be doing with the use case in the future, that we asked the dev, we're like, look, we realize you're a college student, this and that, you were having fun, whatever. We want to have this project, and we want to push it with our community. And the first thing that we did is, we said, okay, we're going to start doing Twitter Spaces. And our first real big episode, I brought on a friend who was the dev for SafeMoon, Papa. And honestly, that was a really good springboard, to really get our brand, me and Walter's brand popping off. And we want to take that and leverage that to help build our community, help build collaborations with other DeFi projects. And, we're trying to do it in a way that's more organic, rather than, hey, just, throw money at the wall, just to try to get things out there. We basically are like, hey, we'll go in, we'll put in that muscle, that work that it really takes to market. Because at the end of the day, the best marketing is word of mouth network marketing. It's really hard to get that type of marketing. But if you have talkative people that are willing to put in the time and the hours and hit the pavement, good things start to happen. And, that's one thing I can say about you guys that I really respect, is that I see the work ethic. You guys go out there, you're constantly campaigning. It's really important, even more so than just, throwing that money at the wall. Not that, there's a time and place for all different moves, but I have a lot of respect for the way that you guys handle ShibaDoge and how you guys get out there and, really push it forward, by campaigning, let people know and educating them.
Yeah, man, that's really what it's all about. It's kind of just, it's like friends and family type deal, right? You really want people, you want to build something where people can be comfortable telling their friends and family about it. If they're not comfortable telling their friends and family about it, then you're obviously building something that people don't want to talk about, and they don't feel comfortable sharing with the world. And that's why we're so very much focused on building a positive environment that people can share with the world, and the world can share our project with the rest of the things that it belongs being shared in, right? So I do think it's very important. Brand awareness is very important, and just keeping your brand true to what matters is important as well. Honestly, like, talking about branding, it's funny because I was actually just skimming across your Twitter yesterday, and I came across your thread. And the funny thing is, like, I was looking into there was this project you were talking about called Wall Street Baby, and they had an AMA with Jamie from Wall Street Bets, and we actually had a partnership with Wall Street Bets as well. In the first 3 or 4 months of our launch, we had like a marketing thing with them and whatnot. So they helped us out with marketing when we first began. So when I saw that, I was interested. I wanted to see what he was talking about, and I listened to some of that AMA. And it's funny that people are kind of like going into the whole stealing people's brands and stealing people's ideas, right? Like the Wall Street Bets coin that people were talking about, and he even on that podcast or on that Twitter space was saying like, hey, I'm going to make their lives a little difficult because they're kind of just like infringing on my copyright. And that's kind of like where crypto gets a little bit hard too, because it's like, who are you going to sue, right? Most of these people, they don't have entities. Most of the people are not docs. So you really can't get to the bottom of it easy. But what do you think? Like, what do you think of all these big players like coming in and kind of like being more involved in the crypto space now? I think they need to be involved more. I do think they got to be involved in a positive way rather than them coming in like kind of talking about things that happened to them that they're not happy about. Obviously, big shout out to Jamie. He's a pretty cool person to talk to. He's a really good speaker. I actually enjoyed listening to him talk the other day. I don't know if you were in that Twitter space or not, but what was your take on all that?
Honestly, you know, it's kind of interesting. That's honestly what really got me into DeFi. Was a culmination of a few things, right? Everybody was at home, right? You know, COVID lockdowns, all that good noise. I was up in Northern California, so I experienced it much more earlier and a lot more stricter and things. So I took advantage of my time, and you know, I was like, okay, I'm out of work right now. You know, I'm furloughed from my job until, you know, things reopen. And you know, the application just to even get like unemployment and things like that were, you know, months out. And I was like, I'm not going to sit here on my hands and just burn up my savings. And I took an opportunity when the crash had happened, when, you know, news started getting out. I bought a bunch of Tesla, a bunch of different stocks. I bought Riot Blockchain going into, I think, like summer of 2020. But basically, I was really getting into Wall Street. It was something I had done since, you know, I was in high school in the early 2000s. You know, just trading over. You know, and basically, my interest in stocks kind of led me to Wall Street Bets, and then, you know, I got an early, you know, everybody knows about the GameSea saga and all the stonks and and all that stuff. Yeah. But it was really funny because like that whole situation with, you know, Wall Street Bets as a person that had kind of seen it, you know, all the way through, and what's going on with Jamie. So right now, Jamie got kicked out of Wall Street Bets, his own thing, basically in April of 2021. The reason that was given by the mods and stuff of the Reddit was he was publishing a book and selling it. They didn't like it or something because it was, you know, for himself. And it became like a complicated thing, but like, long story short, he lost the keys to it, basically. They basically couped it, took it from him, and he's been in a battle basically ever since to get that back. So that right there is like a really complex thing. I mean, I can't really speak on like the inner details of it, but merely as just a spectator type scope or whatever. But yeah, so that right there is kind of, and there's a lot of tribalism that's going on within that community. And what I will say is that you know, I think that's what's really spilling over from this new token called Wall Street Baby. And then obviously there's another one that I think a mod or a loose or X mod or something had launched another one, you know, called Wall Street Bets coin or whatever. So they've kind of been, you know, lashing out and what have you as communities back and forth and stuff. Some of that actually overspilled to me. I'm like, hey, wait a minute, man. Popcorn, and but yeah, you know, it's really up to the people when it comes to crypto. It's decentralized. People will go where they want. I think when the dust settles on this whole thing, I think intentions and things like that are really hard to string along and lie to people for an extended amount of time. You know, but I think there's room for both of them if they are come in with, you know, genuine, you know, wanting to make DeFi a better place, and, you know, to take that advantage, you know, take advantage of that platform to help onboard, you know, more people. You know, while they're kind of fighting it out and stuff, I kind of like, I'm scooting back and I'm like, you know, we all have to be united because we're a minority still as far as like, you know, the everyday world, and we need to be looking on ways to collaborate and build each other up rather, you know, than, but you know how it's evolved, and there's a lot of passion behind that, and I like that. And but my whole take is, I think the burger community, you know,
you're kind of breaking up, bro. You're kind of breaking up. You're a little robotic right now.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, I think that's better now. But yeah, no, man, I 100% agree with that. I'm gonna try to reach out to Jamie as well. I do kind of want to see if I can have him come on and be a guest for one of these Twitter spaces. So I'm gonna reach out to Jamie probably this week and see if I get a hang of him. If you have a direct contact with him, that'll be cool too. If you want to shoot him my way, I can do that. But I'm gonna definitely reach out to him because I do want to talk to him about some of the Wall Street bet stuff. And I'm actually a pretty avid community member. Well, I was an avid community member in Wall Street Bets, the Reddit, when things were popping, like during that GameStop time. And because obviously that was all around the time where my come up happened, and when Doge started blowing up and Shiba started blowing up, it was all around the time where all that Wall Street Bets action was happening. So I've had some posts on Wall Street Bets that have had like 100K plus upvotes, and you know, some of the stock and option posts that I had on there. Like there was one post where I had posted where it was like I bought $5,000 worth of Tesla options, and then like 3 hours later I sold it for like $65,000. And I think that one's like the most popular Reddit post that I ever made. So I definitely do miss those times, dude. Yeah, those were some crazy times, man. That was like peak, like the funnest times that people could have in the financial world as far as like trading goes, was the prime Wall Street Bets movement that was happening.
Absolutely, man. Stonks will go down as one of the greatest things. I mean, just to see, you know, the little guy, a bunch of ants get together, and that, man, was absolutely.
No, it definitely was fun, dude.
What's going on, guys? Just here listening to you guys. It is I, the king of memes. What's up, man? I know. How you guys just... Nothing, man. Just here. I was working, you know, I had to do a 12-hour shift. You guys know I work in the emergency room as well. So when I'm not saving lives, I'm, you know, doing DeFi. But yeah, man, just love everything that you're doing, man. Just shout out to, you know, this space. I appreciate you guys so much. I love ShibaDoge community. You know, one of the best like projects to come in, like that was that legacy, you know, project, and you know, your community rocks. Spoke to all of them, so polite, so gentle, like you feel so safe and you feel like at home when you come to ShibaDoge. So just shout out to the ShibaDoge community. Love you guys and more what you're doing. And man, just appreciate everything, just humbled. You know, you guys were on our show and it's taken off, and just love that, you know, the support from you guys, and I hope you guys still loving that skit, loving everything. So just loving this whole meme season. You know, Kid was like right on the ball when he was talking about, you know, when Bitcoin and Ethereum were, you know, eating, that it was gonna come over to the memes, and it did. It went to like the outs, and then it just spanked. So like this meme season is going down in history. It's still not over, and just glad that you got an awesome space. Love the name of it. You know, just very intelligent talks right now. You know, I'm just hearing you and Kid talk, and just appreciate this whole like DeFi, man. And we're here to like help people, give back. You know, like every time we try to do a call, we try to, you know, make things happen. And the fact that, you know, we had them on the show, and I found them like at 1 million too. They were at 4, and they spanked up a couple hours to 65 million. You know, it was hard to not be stoked for the last 2-3 days, and just seeing that, you know, every time we you know, when we are bringing something, we want something that can change people's lives. It's not for a crap play for a 2-3x. We're always looking for that, you know, that gem hunter. And you know, with you guys, ShibaDoge, it's a no-brainer. Like Kid was talking about, like that's a legacy project, a community that has so much credibility like you guys, it'd be smart for all that to just come right back to ShibaDoge and more to the actual legacy projects. And there's been nothing bigger than, adding Shiba and adding Doge together, guys. So just love everything you guys are doing as a community and what's going on in DeFi. And I hope a couple people here got to make some good X's, or nothing, they've been safe in the space, or you just stayed with ShibaDoge. Where else do you need to go when you have like a real community, and then you don't have to worry about nothing. But I am bullish on your NFTs. I want to hear so much about your community and more. But yeah, man, just thank you for giving us this outlet every time, and doing what you guys do. You guys are like the lead example of what a meme project is, more than it is. Like, you guys added both of the best worlds together, and you guys are not stopping. So just love what you guys are doing, and then now you're opening up a space. Just really amazing on what a community can do together, and we saw that with me and Kid when we first started our show. So you guys deserve hats off to you guys. Appreciate y'all, man.
Thanks, bro. No, man, we appreciate you and coming in with the optimism and the kind words, bro. You're right, dude. It is what it is, right? But the people who are going to be thriving in this space are the people who are actually going to be engaged in the things that go on and keep themselves attached to everything, because there's a lot of moving parts, right? People look at crypto from an outside perspective and they're like, hey, why didn't I get into ShibaDoge, or why didn't I get into that or this? And the reason why you didn't get into it is because you didn't apply yourself, and you didn't take the time to actually research and figure out, what certain projects are about and why you should and why you shouldn't get into them. So, a lot of research does come into this. It's not just about just seeing one little shill post on Twitter and then going and buying the project. Sure, that happens. Sure, a lot of word of mouth happens, but let's be real. Most people who are involved in this space of crypto, you have to take that extra step. You got to take that extra step and get off Coinbase and get off Binance and kind of like, to put the effort in to purchase a token that's not traded on those tier one exchanges yet, and kind of like try to get in early before it hits its peak or it hits its prime and whatnot. So, I truly appreciate everybody in the DEX community, because believe it or not, you guys have been what the building blocks of the space is all about. Yeah, including myself and including you guys. So it's going to continue to be like this. I like how it's becoming easier for people to understand how to operate in the crypto space. That's something that we were always really concerned about, was like, hey, it's super intimidating when you don't know anything and you're coming into the space and trying to buy your first project, and you don't know how to use Uniswap, or you don't know how to transfer ETH into a MetaMask wallet, or even make a MetaMask wallet. So those were like the things that we were worried about, like when talks about adoption started happening. But now it's becoming a little bit more easier. We actually put out a lot of content on our YouTube channel to help newer people with that as well. Our community is super, super helpful when people come in and have those questions. We've done a great job at making sure, like, the core community members are pretty much well briefed on how to operate and be safe in the crypto space. You do get people getting scammed here and there. That happens. You really can't stop that 100%. And that's one of the biggest problems as well. But I don't know how security levels of Web3 is going to improve over the years, but I'm sure that it will improve. And yeah, man, I mean, it's all about just building and continuing the legacy. Like you said, I'm happy that you guys are referring to us as a legacy project. But the thing is, yeah, I mean, we've done a lot in the last year and a half. We've done a lot. We've built a lot. We've progressed a lot. But we're just getting started. We're barely getting started. Like the amount of things that we have planned and the amount of things that we want to build, that when I look at it and I zoom out, I'm like, holy crap, like we haven't done much compared to all of this stuff that we want to do. So, the future is bright. We're paving the road right now. We're laying the foundation, and we're going to try to build a Burj Khalifa on this thing, right? So it's prime time for us, man. I think we're one of the most devoted and dedicated teams out there. Sure, there are times where there are lulls and there are times where people are kind of like waiting around for stuff. But the important thing is we always deliver. We try to over deliver. And we never release something unless it's 100% ready to go, because we don't want to release broken product. So, that's the number one thing. And I think as time goes on and as we build a little bit more and our team gets a little bit bigger, I know we have about close to 20 people now, but we do want to build a team, a bigger team, and have more departments and have, we want to turn this more into like a business style approach as far as like the development part of things go, right? We want to make sure that everything is professional, people are on payroll, things are getting done on time, things are getting done professionally, there's accountability in things. So you're right, man. We do like to set the standard for what a meme coin should be. We're the meme coin that kind of just stepped out and was like, hey, we're a meme coin. We'll always be a meme coin. But hey, guess what? We're doing X, Y, and Z. We're doing all these extra stuff, showing people that like, hey, meme coins can be great and meme coins can be better than utility coins, because it's like, hey, we have the benefit of being a meme coin. And that alone has the opportunity to take you to the moon, for example, right? Because if you compare it to other meme coins like Dogecoin and Shiba Inu, it's like they had nothing going for them other than being a meme coin. But then again, we also have like all these cool features and all these cool things that we're bringing and introducing into the community that can really drive a lot of value to it. So super excited, man. And I do appreciate you with your kind words, Walt.
Oh, nah, no problem, man. But if you didn't know you guys were a legacy project, now you guys know. If I had to tell you guys, now you know, brother. You guys, in my book, what you guys, and that just shows how humble your community is, and like that's the people I want to fuck with, on this bull run. And your community is amazing. Like, bro, when I'm telling you, I've walked into some communities, and man, they were like so just adapting, and just that was like okay, and most of the shows we, when we first started, we were trying to explain like the narrative that we were tired of people making a mockery of crypto, doing these scams, doing these projects, and we were like, like we were on some like soldier, like we will come and we will not buy your token. Like people, we were making a standard, like you should, you gotta point out stuff if you're looking scammy, not like you're not even writing like who's the dev or what's going on. These are like clear signals that we're trying to make the safe space again, and the fact that we cross-pollinated, helped a lot of projects, helped trying to change a lot of people's way of thinking, and mine's as well while I was looking at it. The fact that people, finally, were coming together, that holders mentality came out of nowhere. I'm not saying it was us, but we manifested this like different meme season coming. And I mean, and in order for these, moonshots that happened with like Pepe, that, shot up to what, 200-300, 400, I stopped looking at it. It didn't stop, but that was where, with communities and people that hold. And still, you never know. Those things could just bottom out and have nothing. And something like your project, the fact that it's got everything, the narrative, what you guys put, like Miss Shiba, Miss Doge, all together. You guys stuck around to like, how long you guys been around. Just the credibility, you guys created that burning mechanism coin as well. And then the NFTs that you guys had. That's why I got my creation to do the ShibaDoge, like adding both together, because you're adding both of the most powerful memes of all time. Like, it doesn't matter how back you go, that's why it's like the reason why we do get excited. Like, you're like, oh, why we are right now, because we felt that before, and the nostalgia is now coming with education. We know how to run our emotions. Don't do that, don't do this. In fact, now we're all coming together, and as we're sticking as a community, someone like you guys that all stick around, making sure that your community is going the right way upon this process going up, and making sure they take out profits, do this, make sure. And it's just gratifying to, actually have projects like yourselves and what me and Kid are trying to build with 24 Karat, and give something different to people. Our paths, we've been part of, great projects that went to over 10, 20 mil plus, even after Elongate, just building our resume, what we do. And it was always just, making sure you had that right moral compass and that you just wanted to, do right. Like, that's what we're here for. Like, not to screw over your family and friends. Like, hey, buy this. Like my project, I got coworkers in, you know what I'm saying? I got family. I even tell them about ShibaDoge. Like, I was like, oh, so that's when you know that you trust a project, that you'll tell your family that doesn't know anything about crypto and say, hey, I want to get into crypto. The first way you could show them crypto, either you could tell them to go to like Coinbase or something and buy Bitcoin, or their first crypto could be where you tell them to get a Coinbase, get Ethereum, send it to your Trust or MetaMask. Then it gets crazy because they're on Uniswap and they're learning, and it's a lot for them. But you're sometimes advancing them so quickly when you do that, and then they see their first like 2x or 1x, they get super excited, and that's when you got them part of something special. And I think that's the way we're now. I think now that I'm not sure the meme season where it's at right now. It's either in the full blast first quarter, second quarter, but on this way up, you want to take advantage of this moment as well as ShibaDoge to give your light out. You guys deserve it. You guys been like the top project when it comes to being that legacy that that community that started from like in the bear runs and succeeded, and what you guys have a lot of people can't say. So it's just we're trying to create these projects. If I start a project or try to be involved, it's always like forever, bro. It's like, come on, let's do this for a year or two. And some of these teams have attention spans of like 30 minutes. And, it's just a mockery of what's going on. So it's like it kind of made it easy for you guys as a community, or for me and Kid in our community, to create a project like 24 Karat that actually has stuff and acts fun utility, and how we're trying to, be the branding and make merchandise and do clothing and just bring back more buys into the chart. Something that people can be happy and safe about. And, as well, teach them on the way ups and downs, how to stack ETH and what the bigger picture is. And, I'm not saying that the community should be always about that, but those should be red flags. If you don't have people talking about that and it's all hype in this, at first there's always going to be like that. But eventually you find out like how the community runs, how they're actually letting it mold. And I've seen project to project, and I can tell each project has something special. But what I notice about you guys, I mean, the confidence level that you guys have, like as a community, is amazing. And I try to find that confidence in other projects, that when I learn from you guys and learn from the VC, and I've learned from other projects, because some of the projects go up, they go down, but I seen the project that just stands out. And the fact that you guys added Shiba and Doge, everything together, and as well, what people are trying to create. So it's like you guys are the blueprint, and some of these memes they'll come and go. But then you're gonna have these legacy projects like yours, what me and Kid are trying to create, and maybe we can, like ShibaDoge, you guys can be, the lead example of see what happens when you take something serious, make it happen, always market, campaign, be active, just like you're doing the spaces, like show your community that you're moving forward. There's not a standstill. In fact, you guys are just going with the flow, and even more, you guys are like on a surfboard, and you guys are riding this wave, and you guys are on the top, and on the way to this bull run coming. It's a no-brainer for ShibaDoge. It's a no-brainer for some of these legacy projects like Bazoge, Splinter, like these projects that actually have based ass communities. And that's what I'm striving for. I'm not trying to tell people to get into projects that are gonna be there for a month or two. I'm like, I want to get people involved in projects that are gonna be a year or 2 or 3 or more, because then that's when you see it actually happen. Because when people lay out these roadmaps, they sell you these dreams. They're like, hey, we're doing this, we're doing that, but it's like, are you really backing it up? So and something like your project, not to keep on leading you guys by example, because you guys deserve it, you know, you guys are doing things that people need to look at and be like, okay, this is, if you're not moving like this, don't start. If you're going to start a project and you're not willing to work 16, 18 hours of your life for the next 3 months at least, do not start a project. I tell people, like, or like, what for? You know, if you know, my girl tells me, you know, like, kick my ass out the couch all the time because I'm always out doing things and making things happen. And now that's when you know you're doing it right. Now she's supportive because she sees what I've been working on. But I mean, if you're not having these struggles, bro, where you're tired, you're like, what's this all for? Keep on pushing, keep on making things happen. You really don't want it. And I'm pretty sure as a community, you guys had those ups and downs and up, and then the downs of the downs. And then there was that curve that just took it to the next level. And, you know, I think people need to really know that, you know, you start a contract, you start a project, take it serious. DeFi can be serious and it can be as well funny and fun, but then educate. Like, don't bullshit the communities. Like, you know, and it's hard to say that because everyone's like, oh, we're taking this serious. Like, come on, bro. Like, are you really gonna take this project serious? Or why don't you just put a disclaimer? Hey, like we were talking, like different levels. You know, you say, hey, this is the level, you know, 3, you know, level 2, level 1, like, you know, of what it can be. Is it a 1 month project? Is it a 2 week? Is it a lifer? You know, and I think the way we're going about it, you know how me and Kid been wanting to do the show and have, you know, successful projects, right, as the headliners, is to show what happens when you take a project serious and you get to that and you guys stick together. We've seen the craziest communities. It's like it's its own freaking world. Like, whoa, they got this many people. I mean, there's people that really taking this serious. And, you know, we're going to see during the meme season, those people will cancel out. And you will hold those people accountable, the ones that were like, oh, we're doing this. Like, no, you're not. So then you lose maybe credibility. You can change your name. You can even alter your voice or whatever. But then that one's bullshit if you're not, people are like, is that even person real? Is this even real? What's really going on? So we just want to make sure going forward, you know, like any project, that it's just nice, fun, safe, taking it to the next level, showing what the technology of blockchain DeFi can do, and as well with, you know, with colors and symbols and things that get you, just stimulate your brain, bro. Like, you know, and you guys have those cool ass NFTs that look like just soldiers in the game that are just like ready to take over, and that's so neat because there's a technology behind it, there's a community behind it, and I think, you know, we have room for a lot of community. There's so much room there. I mean, there's room for another $10 trillion in this next bull run coming up, if it goes up to 25, 26, and those are reasonable numbers. You have to do the power of double and triple. Went up to 2 or 3, then a bull run could hit 6, 7, then you do that, maybe a settle down, then up again. I mean, the institutions want in. The biggest countries in the world are speaking crypto. So it's just a matter of time where that money just pours in, or just the you know, what I call the greatest wealth of transfer that we're gonna see in front of our eyes happen. You know, there's so many ways to do it. You could do meme, you could have series projects, but just make it where if you continue to do that project, you mean well for your community, and you treat people like your family and friends all the time, because that's what they are. They're giving you a chance. They're backing up. There's some of these people will be your ride or dies, and I think people should always, you know, take a privilege to have, you know, community members like that and more. And you know, I think little by little, you know, people will start to know what is what, and maybe eventually there'll be like a bracket and people know. But this is just a start, man. So I just went on a rant. I'm fired up. Let's fucking go.
No, it's all good, man. I mean, a lot of what you said makes a lot of sense, bro. I do truly believe that. I do truly believe that you're right. You know, people look at the number 10 trillion, like you threw it out there, and they say, that'll never happen. But no, I mean, if you look at the whole market cap as a whole of crypto, we almost hit $3 trillion in the last all-time high of the entire crypto market, right? So, I mean, look at Apple, right? Just Apple alone is worth more than the entire crypto market, and that's just one company. So why can't all of crypto combined be worth $10 trillion? And people are really looking at crypto and saying like, oh, hey, it's already at $1 trillion market cap. It's not going to get any bigger than that. Like, come on. What's $1 trillion when you combine the whole world's GDP? It's nothing. Like, you're right. The more institutions, the more people that get involved, the more adoption that happens in crypto, the bigger it could get, and the more money that flows in, the better it gets for projects like ours and projects like any project, honestly, on the blockchain will thrive as long as there's people wanting in. And I believe everybody who's involved right now is truly the pioneer of the space, you know, and the people who were involved 2-3 years ago, they're more well versed, but they're still old school, right? Like the game isn't even fully developed yet. Like this isn't even the final form of what DeFi is going to be. DeFi might change 2, 3, 4, 5 more times before we hit that $10 trillion market cap in crypto. And the beautiful thing about ShibaDoge is like, we always adapt with the market. We don't like to stay like in one place. We want to be part of the market as it grows and as it adapts and as it changes. So I think that's what is really going to put us in the winning position, because we understand that, like, hey, you can't always just be the same old turtle slowly getting to playing catch up. You always got to be quick with it, because the market moves quick, and that's why we got 20 people working on things, because we want to be on top of the next trend. We want to be on top of the next tech. We want to be on top of the next thing that comes up and people want to be a part of, right? So I think a lot of it has to do with people adapting and learning. A lot of it is very intimidating, right? Because I personally don't know how to code a contract myself. But what I do know is how to keep things running in a well-oiled way, and how to communicate, and how to actually have a nice vision that can be successful in the future. And you need those types of people, right? You need people who are visionaries. You need people who are engineers. You need people who are marketers. You need a combination of all this in order to be successful. It's not just about like, hey, I got an idea for a coin. Let me throw it out there and let me launch it, and maybe it becomes successful or not. No, that's not how it works. And yeah, man. Yeah, no. So look, this has been amazing. I want to wrap it up, but with one thing. I want to start adding one question into the end of these Twitter spaces before I start taking questions from the community, which I still got to do. What was your craziest crypto experience that you've ever had? I just want to hear that, and we'll pretty much be all good to go.
Man, honestly, personally, myself is taking less than $1,000 and seeing it go to $1 million. It's absolutely like my eyes rolled in the back of my head type of surprise. So the way that it can happen so quickly, and just anything can happen in crypto, and that right there is what pretty much got me into this journey. And that's what I hope for everybody in here, is to hit the mark on whatever their trading goals are. And you can make it happen if you put in the work and time.
100%. I agree with that 100%. What about you, Walter? What's your craziest crypto experience, bro?
Oh, my craziest crypto experience, it just goes back to the origins of where it all started, man. With EG, man, to see everything happen, and see like everything happen in fruition, and see what happens when everyone sticks together. Seeing Elon tweet, seeing it even happening again for the second time was just amazing. And I saw the bigger picture, and seeing how the whole world was united, how I met so many friends from around the world. I'll never forget that. So, I mean, honestly, like, sometimes I got to say, just right from the beginning is where, it all started. And that's like still one of my most favorite top moments of my life. And it's why I'm here right now with you guys, and continuing my, our legacy together as a whole DeFi, community. And you said something big that I love, that we're the future. Some of us will be the pioneers of crypto, and that's respect, because the way you took it so serious, and you're teaching other people, or you designed something that created something, or open up someone's mind, anything, being a teacher, an advocate. I go and try to teach as much people as I can, and I don't get nothing for that. So the fact that, it all started from one project to lead where I'm at now, that's always going to be right where I first started, and I never forget where I came from. So I mean, I love it. And you know, it's been one of the most craziest journeys I've ever been on. And dude, you know, like it started like I'm still in the line. Like we haven't even rode the ride yet. We're still like, damn, we got 2 hours left, 3 hours left for this ride. But yeah, man, just love everything that we're doing together. And you know, as long as we stick together, we know each other, we help and educate others about crypto and DeFi, and make it, you know, more than just a place where people think it's gambling and it's scammy, and we finally get that ugly word out. And projects like yours, you know, the legacy projects out there, they will fruition. It's just gonna take time, but yeah, man, that's my favorite top, like where I started.
I love it, bro. I love it. So yeah, man. I really want to thank you guys for coming on. I'm looking forward to coming back on to your guys' show too. I don't think I'll be able to do it this week, but probably the week after. If you guys will have me, I'll love to come on. And like I said, we're going to put together a pretty massive marketing campaign, so I'd love for you guys to be a part of that as well. Obviously, we're going to be reaching out to all of our friends and all of the connections that we have in the space to put this whole thing together. So I'd love to come on you guys' show and talk about some of the things we got coming up, if you guys don't mind.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And definitely keep me posted in the DMs and stuff. We got a bunch of cool stuff going on. We would love to collaborate with ShibaDoge, you know, as many ways as possible. You know, there's, you know, few projects that, you know, really that type of integrity, that's doing the right things and has a bright future. And yeah, we want to be there. We want to be part of the ShibaDoge community. And anything that you need, man, our sword is your sword, as my buddy Shuggy in the audience would say. So any way we can help you out, man, let us know. We're down to support.
Perfect, guys. Hey, man, thank you guys for coming on today. I really, really appreciate you guys taking the time and coming here. Honestly, big shout out to you guys and everything you guys have going on. This whole thing was recorded and it's going to be on our YouTube channel too. So I'll make sure to forward your guys' social links to our YouTube guy, Roof, and he'll make sure to add it in the description. So again, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. And what we'll do now is, if the community has any questions, feel free to raise your hand and I'll go ahead and bring you guys up and we could talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. Or Roof, if you had any questions coming up on YouTube or anything like that, let me know and we get those answered. Yep, I hear you now. Okay, no worries. Cool. Yeah. All right, cool. Then we'll just go ahead and wrap it up here. I'll answer questions in Telegram. If people have questions, just tag me and I'll just answer them. I'm on my computer right now anyway, so if you guys need me, tag me in Telegram. We'll go ahead and wrap the spaces up. Big thanks again to K1dCrypt0 and Walter. Appreciate you guys coming on. And as always, I'll give you guys the outro you guys love so much. If you miss Doge, that sucks. If you miss Shiba, that also sucks. If you miss ShibaDoge, then unfortunately you suck. Guys,
I love that one. That's awesome, bro.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Guys, stay